Updated November 8, 2017 100,327. The Paradise Papers might have shaken our trust in established institutions, but the evidence suggests we had started to lose faith long before the leak. The 13.4 million files have revealed to the world how complex offshore structures are used by multinationals to minimize their tax bills. This practice could have a corrosive effect on faith in established systems, one expert says. Right now there's a phenomenal level of public distrust of our government, of our institutions. Senior fellow at the Washington-based Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, Matt Gardner, told the ABC, "The more it's obvious that our tax system is being hijacked by well-heeled lobbyists, by corporations in particular, the more reason there will be for the public to distrust their institutions." But while the Paradise Papers are new, the loss of faith is not. Turning to Strangus, Oxford University lecturer and author of Who Can You Trust?, Rachel Botsman, said there had been a steady shift away from established institutions in recent years. People are saying they don't trust politicians, bankers or even journalists, but they will get in a car with a total stranger on Uber, or they'll rent their home on Airbnb, she told News Breakfast. What's happening is trust used to flow upwards to experts and authorities and regulators, and now it's flowing sideways to strangers and peers and colleagues and neighbors. The rise of engagement with the sharing economy has come at a time when research shows we have drastically turned away from almost every established system. Less than half of Australians are happy with the way democracy works, according to a 2016 survey, while in the US only 20% of Americans trust their government. The 2017 Worldwide Edelman Trust Barometer report, based on surveys of 33,000 people around the world, found a global implosion of trust, including 43% trusted the media, 41% trusted government, 37% found company CEOs credible, 29% found politicians credible. The report concluded this was the largest ever drop in trust across the institutions of government, business, media and NGOs. This can have a cascading effect, Ms. Botsman said. A loss of trust, what comes after that is an erosion of faith or a loss of confidence, she said. People think I don't trust a bank, now I'm not sure the financial system, and then after that, where it becomes really worrying is when it loses its legitimacy. So do we really trust the banks to manage value? Do we really trust governments to oversee society? That's the crisis that we're in. Why is this a crisis? Because it creates a trust vacuum, according to Ms. Botsman. We're seeing it right now, and the people who rise up, the voices we start to listen to, are people who know how to speak to our feelings versus facts, she said. Ms. Botsman cited US President Donald Trump's election win and the successful Brexit campaign as examples of people rejecting the established systems, and said technological advances have made it more possible. The technology is eroding the faith of the institutions, because it amplifies people's fears. It allows different voices to get through, she said. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, let's be frank, a lot of power for a long time has been held by white men, so it's actually democratizing that voice. But the technology is what enables us to connect and share the information. Why do we trust strangers then? It seems paradoxical that as we increasingly distrust institutions we should place our faith in strangers, but that is what the evidence is pointing to. That's the interesting thing, because human beings are naturally trusting people, Ms. Botsman said. We want to give our trust away, and so that's why ideas like Airbnb are remarkable. You think about that you're going to book someone's home on the other side of the world and stay in it, it's an idea that should work. Airbnb is projecting its revenue will soar to $3.5 billion a year by 2020, while Uber Technologies Inc.'s revenue increased to $3.4 billion in the first quarter of 2017. One possible reason for the popularity is that the technology directs the transaction, Ms. Botsman said. Because it makes people feel familiar, she said. But she warned the companies behind these services, like Uber and Airbnb, may face the same backlash as established institutions if they do not play by the rules. The tech companies now are becoming the new institutions, and we want them to be accountable in the same way we want the banks to be accountable, she said. It is already turning around, the pendulum has already swung, but it's just been a much shorter cycle. Because what do you do if something goes wrong? And that's when people realize, oh, maybe regulation, maybe licenses, maybe they have a role to play. Topics: banking, government and politics, tax. Australia first posted November 8, 2017 095257.